Thank you so much for joining us. This is TV Kudirat. We're wishing you a very happy Sunday. Yes, TV Kudirat has come with the program called Business Realm. What are we going to do on Business Realm? We are discussing business. Everything you need to know about business, about being a businesswoman or a businessman. To start with, I'd like to tell you that the program promises to help you in your business journey to attain the heights of your dreams. My name is Bola Omotayo, and I'll be your host on Business Realm for many weeks to come. Who is Bola Omotayo? A Nigerian um, do I say Nigerian broadcaster or a Nigerian businesswoman or a Nigerian motivational speaker or a Nigerian development consultant? Well, um, for the purpose of the program, I'll say I'm a Nigerian broadcaster. And I've been in broadcasting for a few decades. About 9 years ago, close to 9 years ago, I voluntarily um, resigned from mainstream broadcasting where uh, deadlines are to be met and programs are time bound. I did that to explore new frontiers and to um, um, to do some other things in some other fields. And when I did that, I thought that oh, um, it's okay with things like this, being a teacher on radio or on television. And I thought it's bye bye to deadlines uh, and the tension, really, the tension. People who are in mainstream broadcasting know that um, um, if you are a good hand, so to say, you would have more than enough to do. And sometimes you feel that it's a 24-hour thankless job. And so you think that when you are self-employed, you are in charge of your time, you are in charge of your income, and so on and so forth. You can do more when there is the need to do more, and you can relax when there is the need to relax. And so for some time, I've enjoyed my Sundays relaxing, and the burden came that I have to come and do this again. And I tried to tell myself no, that I've paid my dues, but the burden became so intense uh, that I have to come and do a few things, particularly within the social media space. And I think at this point, I can no longer decline this call to to do a bit more of broadcasting within the social media space, and that's why we are here. That's what I want to have for you in a nutshell. And so, business realm. Today on business realm, we are taking introduction to entrepreneurship. Um, Under this, we shall be talking about what is entrepreneurship, who is an entrepreneur, benefits of entrepreneurship, who can be an entrepreneur, and first step to entrepreneurship. If you want to be an entrepreneur, you want to start a business, you want to run your business, you want to nurture your business, you want to grow your business, you want to be in charge of your business, you want to be a business leader who runs a business and mentors others. Now, I'm mentor others. What is the first step that you have to take? That will be the last thing to discuss on this edition. But before we plunge into uh, what is entrepreneurship, I like to say that, anyway, maybe before I even go to that, please, on business realm, we would like a smooth flow. And so we won't accommodate phone calls, and we may not respond to the messages immediately, but we will surely respond to the messages eventually. So just drop your messages. You have any questions, you have any comments, you're welcome to drop all of these. You are free to like. We suggest that you like. If I will encourage you to like, to love, to share, to tell others. This is our gospel for everybody who wants to be a businessman, a businesswoman, and you want to be a successful one at that. I bring to you the gospel of entrepreneurship, and you will never regret that you did join the program for this edition and the editions that are ahead. Now, please, we would want SMS only. Maybe when we have taken 3 episodes, the fourth episodes may be to pick some of your messages at random and respond to them in an edition. Now, today, before we plunge to um, the core of the day's business, I want to say as a preamble that there are 3 types of entrepreneurship mainly. Uh, the first one is indirect entrepreneurship. You do not like to be a businessman, or you do not like to be a businesswoman. You rather work for a company, you rather work for a school as a teacher, you'd rather work for government and just take your salary at the end of the month. But along the line, you discover that your colleagues are buying land, and you buy a piece of land, and on that you build a mall, or on that you build a residential structure, and people come and they pay you for rentage. You have tenants and you are making money. Even though you didn't set out to be a businessman, you didn't set out to be a businesswoman, but you sowed a seed, and the seed is now yielding fruits. Uh, you are already an entrepreneur, even without your knowledge, even without knowing. For instance, you are involved in an issue, and someone says, um, please quit that. And you say, no, I can't quit this because this is my business. So what business are you referring to? It goes to show us that everything in life is somebody's business. And what is your business may not be another person's business. What is another person's business may not be your business. But you say, no, I can't leave this because it's my business. Because you realize that it's profitable. Yes, you realize that it's profitable for you to continue doing that thing which someone is discouraging you from doing. And then at some other time, someone may say, let's go do that. And you say, no, that's none of my business. Why do you say so? Because you realize that there's no gain in doing, there won't be any gain. There's no gain, there won't be any gain in doing that. So everything in life is pretty much somebody's business. So there are times that we do things that uh, do not appear as business immediately, but they're actually business when we think deeper. A young lady who makes up her face, dresses decently, talks politely, who is diligent at her assignments, and so on and so forth, may reap as gain a responsible gentleman as a husband, and a woman who trains her children, feeds them right, educates them right, give them home etiquette, may also reap um, giants in those children as time progresses to the future. So everything in life that we do with the hope of making some gains is a business. But many times we do things like that without knowing that we are already into business. So that is indirect entrepreneurship. The care, the the care, the counseling, the support that you give your children are actually investments that will yield fruits in the future. Now, when we talk about indirect entrepreneurship, that is endless, and on your own, you can continue to really reflect on this and see truly that, oh, really, the care that we give others, our children, our family, are actually investments. And then we talk about speculative entrepreneurship. There are some people who do not have the discipline, or who has not really recognized what they have passion for, but they have excess cash from time to time. And so some people come and say, oh, come and join network marketing. When you join, you make some profit. Or um, somebody wants to sell off a car and they consider it cheap, and so they buy it within a period of 30 days. They have sold it off with a markup, and so on and so forth. There are so many people, so many things that you can invest your excess cash into, and then you make some profits and you are happy that you are in business. People in this category like to call themselves serial entrepreneurs, because they, from time to time, they invest their excess cash in different things, and then they make profit within a short period of time, and they are happy. And then the last one is what I call classical entrepreneurship. Classical entrepreneurship is someone who has always loved business, someone who admires people in business, someone who discovers his or her passion and is ready to follow that passion from that moment till a time that he or she cannot see. This is classical entrepreneurship. This is original entrepreneurship. This is real entrepreneurship. And henceforth, everything that we are going to discuss on business realm will center on classical entrepreneurship. So now, what is entrepreneurship? Well, entrepreneurship is a task of setting up a business for the purpose of making profits. Um, you have 20 naira and you invest that in a business initiative, in a business idea, and you labor to ensure that the 20 naira does not become 19 naira. Rather, you grow the 20 naira from being 20 naira to becoming 25 naira, 30 naira, 50 naira, 100 naira. It could even become anything. And to um, to tell you, to show you that possibility, I suggest that you read the stories of people like Aliko Dangote. You read the stories of people like Mike Adenuga, Chief Abdul Razak Akoni Okoya. You see where they are coming from, and you see where they are today. You will realize that your 10 kobo can become zillion, zillion naira, zillion dollar, or zillion yen. There's no end to what the token seed that you started with can become when you are truly committed to your entrepreneurial calling, to your entrepreneurial assignments. So entrepreneurship is a task of setting up a business for the purpose of making profits. Entrepreneurship is the task of sowing a little seed to yield a great harvest. Entrepreneurship is the task of making little, the process of making little become big, of making minute become mighty or magnificent. That is entrepreneurship. Now, who is an entrepreneur? Who is an entrepreneur? An entrepreneur is somebody who engages in that task of setting up a business for the purpose of profit. Is that person who has a little seed, and instead of eating it all, decides to sow a part of it or all of it for increase. The person who does that is an entrepreneur. And not just the person who sees somebody selling their car in distress and buys it and sells it, and all of a sudden you discover that, oh, there is a markup of 50,000 naira, and you blow that off and you continue. That's not the person we are talking about. It's a person who buys that thing and then sells it, and then realize that the 250 has become 300,000 naira, and thinks of what 300,000 naira can do to expand the car business. Because you could be introduced to entrepreneurship in any way, in any form. Anything could be your cue. Maybe it could start just like that, that somebody wants to sell off a car and you have 250,000 naira, and you buy that car and you realize that you have 300,000 naira. You're now beginning to think that, oh, what if I have two cars? If I have two cars, then which means if I make 50,000 naira in two places, I'll be having, instead of 300,000 naira, I'll be having 350,000 naira at the end of the day. And from two cars, you want to grow to having three cars. From having three cars, you want to grow to having four cars being displayed for sale. And before you know it, you are the new Land Reshitu, you are the new Elizade, you are the new whatever, all of those the car companies. You become somebody who can be recognized as that. So an entrepreneur is somebody who sets up a business for the purpose of making profit. Not a profit that you make and you blow up, but a profit that you make for further expansion. You have a dream. Yeah, you have a vision. The difference between a serial entrepreneur or a speculative entrepreneur and a classical entrepreneur is that a classical entrepreneur has a dream that he wants to achieve, and is not in a hurry to get there, but is working at it and on it every day, every time, and gradually moving towards that dream. A typical entrepreneur is a leader. A typical entrepreneur is a teacher, because the dream of your business resides with you, and it is you who bats that dream. And you bat the dream, you bat every element of the dream for others who have come to support you to see, so that they can support you and do it right towards the actualization of your dream. So what are the benefits of entrepreneurship? You've been in a dilemma. You don't know whether the business life is for you or it's not for you. You don't know whether you should remain an employee in another person's establishment, or whether you could come out of that and start doing something gradually, or you don't know whether, as you are even serving in that establishment where you are being paid on monthly basis, you don't know whether there is something little that you could start by the side and grow gradually until you see that it's time for you to come out of somebody else's establishment and start your own on full scale. You don't know. Well, maybe by the time we mention the benefits of entrepreneurship, you you may be encouraged to 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 start now or to continue to plan to start soon or later. One of the greatest benefits of entrepreneurship is that you are in charge of your life. You are in charge, to a very great extent, you are in charge of your life. You are in charge of your time. You are in charge of your income. You you would go all out to do all it takes when you are supposed to go out. You would, when you have an idea that could solve a problem, you don't have to tell it to anybody and wait for approval. You can try it out. If it fails, you won't get a query from, because you are in charge. Then you won't be discouraged because nobody would kill you for that error. Nobody will sack you for that error. Nobody would retrench you for that error. You only pick the pieces and keep moving. When you are tired, you feel like you've been working and you need to rest. You are not compelled to overwork yourself against nature. When you feel that you can do more, you are not locked out to say the office has closed. You can take initiative. You have the prerogative to do a lot, and you earn according to what you have put in. Um, if your labor yields 500 naira, you can administer the 500 naira as you please. If your labor has yielded 200,000 naira, you can administer the 200,000 naira as you please. So you are in charge of a lot, and you are a leader, because when you bring in people to work for you or with you, you have the privilege of leading them, of showing them the light. You build their capacity, and from doing that, you have a sense of fulfillment, a sense of accomplishment. You are a light to the world, and you are also helping others to fulfill their dreams. Now, who can be an entrepreneur? Well, I believe that entrepreneurs are born. You see, there are some 3-year-old kids. When you peel an orange and you remove the peel, the rind, that thing covering the pulp inside, and you set the pulp inside that for consumption, and you want to throw away the rind. Some 3-year-old kids would question why you want to throw it away, would question, will ask you whether that one is useless. Whereas some 3-year-old kids will even pick the old orange and play it as ball, until you tell them that it's not ball, it's orange, it's fruit, you can eat that. So that tells you that entrepreneurs are born. The child who is asking whether the rind could be put to some uses already has a point to what he or she can be in the future, that if he's an administrator of resources, he will be more prudent than the child who picks it to play as ball. So entrepreneurs are born, I believe that, but I also believe that anybody could be an entrepreneur. If you are not an entrepreneur and you would like to be an entrepreneur, you have successful entrepreneurs all around, all over the world, and you can pick 1, 2, 3, or a few of them to learn from, and you just study their lives, study what they have done, read their stories, and follow them, like we say today, and the social media sense, you follow them, their activities, and you learn from it, and you practice the things that they do. The things you learn from them, you consciously practice those things on your own scale. And when you do that, you realize that gradually the practice is becoming a part of you. And so you could become far greater than even some people who were born with the orientation of, with a skill, with a gift of managing and the ability to manage resources. You could raise a business empire that would outshine what they can do, depending on your environment, depending on the wherewithal at your disposal, depending on the people who surround you, and a number of other factors which some born entrepreneurs may not have access to. So, gradually, we are coming to the end of this episode, Introduction to Entrepreneurship. And the last thing here is first step to entrepreneurship. Who can be our first step? What's the first thing? Now, you have seen that there is the need for you to be an entrepreneur, and you would like to become an entrepreneur. What is the first step to take? The first step to take is to love it. Love becoming an entrepreneur. And how can you love it? You would love it when you understand what it is. When you understand what it is and you recognize the benefits of entrepreneurship, and you know that you would love to enjoy those benefits, and you consciously fall in love with it, that is the first step. And when you have done all of that, the next question to ask yourself is, what field of entrepreneurship would I like to join? What industry would I love to join? What would I like to sell? What service or services would I love to render? You need to do that search within and without. And how do you do that search? That is a question to be answered on the next episode of Business Realm. I do not know how many viewers that we have got, but we do this that people may find it within the social media space at any time. Either you have joined us live or you come across this video later. Please drop your questions, and at some point in a not too far away time, we would respond to these questions. I believe you have enjoyed this outing, and I believe you have enjoyed everything that has been said. Thank you so much for joining us or for checking out this video later. We'll see you again, and very soon. On behalf of my crew, Kayode and Diana, my name is Bola Omotayo. Thank you so much. See you again. Bye for now.